My people, it's about that time.
Like a boss.
Live from the USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today we are going to be looking at a major announcement from one of the Magnificent Seven, that being Apple, immediately showcasing the technology of their NFC payments, which will soon be applicable for Bitcoin and decentralized finance, DeFi, blockchain. This is the future, and the future is here. So if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as the Crypto Trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you get to profit as a result, and today is no exception. So if you haven't done it already, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. I make a video every single day to try to help you get paid, and this is how we do it. We give away free Bitcoin every single Friday. I pick a random comment, a random video, and bam, it's just that easy to get paid. So all you need to do is shout out your city, let me know where in the world you are tuning in from. We have a global community, and one of you guys will win some free BTC on Friday. So without further ado, let's make it do what it do. Let's go ahead and make this money. So here we are, Gadgets 360. This is a big digital publication in the retail space, and one of their main articles, Apple's decision to grant third-party apps access to NFC connectivity could benefit the crypto industry, right? They go on to say, Apple recently announced that it will soon allow third-party developers from countries in the EU and other regions access to NFC technology on an iPhone or upcoming build-out of beta iOS 18.1. The technology that supports contactless payments is currently restricted to Apple Pay and Apple Wallet. That's one big thing I think people oftentimes forget, is that Apple kind of has a monopoly on the software that their devices are able to access. iOS is basically, hands-off enterprise, and that's a system of design, right? So just the fact that they're going to be enabling third-party contributors to incorporate their own currency in the background for this feature, I think could really pay huge dividends for mainstream accessibility and usability of blockchain technology. It says this decision could prove to be a shot in the arm for crypto firms and could pave the way for Web3 wallet services to offer tap-to-pay functionality. 21st century has arrived. At the time of this story, Circle co-founders' USDC market capitalization stood at $34 billion. So they're saying by Apple doing this, that essentially Circle could receive some major liquidity, because every iPhone will essentially be a payment vehicle for USDC. I think it's much bigger than USDC. I can see coins like Litecoin, benefiting from something like this, because that's essentially what they built the Lightning Network for, is these peer-to-peer NFC payments. Coins like Solana that are, designed to accommodate hundreds of millions of transactions in a day can certainly benefit for this. So I think it's just the beginning. This announcement was just made within a few days, so we don't have any apps that are, Bitcoin integrated yet. But please believe, after reading this article, there are a lot of great minds behind the scenes working on figuring that problem out. Some key statistics, I think, that really bring light to the scope of this engagement. More than 1.3 billion consumers use iPhones. Apple sold 200 million iPhones in 2023. They have a 62% market share in the United States. And their growth rate is simply staggering. People forget that this device was invented less than 15 years ago, right around the time Bitcoin came out. So it's almost like finally the merging, of the two giants have come together. It's like one was made for the other, and they finally have come into co-alignment to coexist together. It's really exciting when you look at the progression of society and technology, and now here we are, 2024, and it looks like the two can finally be complementary of each other. One of the other things I wanted to look at was the crypto wallet use. So we have iPhone demographics. We said there were 124 million iPhones sold in the US last year, right? 200 million in 2023. And I think that's global. That has to be global. So let's just use 200 million kind of as our baseline, like 250 we'll say, because we're in 2024. So 250. So say this thing comes out in 2025 with the first contactless Bitcoin payment system, and we have 250 million users in the world. Well, first of all, it's somewhat limited because they did say it's only going to be restricted to the European Union. But I think one thing that is interesting when we jump over here, we see that Europe accounts for a higher portion of crypto wallets. They say the total number of crypto wallets worldwide is 84 million, with basically the Europe accounting for 38 million. So essentially, we have a market right now that's existing of, say, 40 million users. Right? Now, keep in mind, one user can have more than one wallet, so we're generalizing quite a bit here. But that kind of gives you a scale. Like, we only have 40 million in the EU, 28 million in the United States. That's about 84 million worldwide. Keep in mind, also, these are what I believe are registered crypto wallets. So you have some decentralized wallets, some smartphone apps that aren't connected to KYC. But all things being considered, we can just call it 100 million, right? 100 million crypto wallets worldwide. Apple does that, 2 or 3 times over in a year. So essentially, we're looking at doubling the potential population of crypto users if/when this technology becomes fully integrated and seamless with your phone. One of the things I always talk about is we're watching this technology be rolled out behind the scenes, right? And one of the things you can start to look at is just take a mental note of every time you see a QR code. Because whatever that QR code is doing, in 9 out of 10 times, it's trying to sell you something that you don't need. Because we live in a consumerist economy, and the sheeple must supply their blood and equity for the system to continue to function. But that QR code, whatever it's doing right now, can be replicated on the blockchain. And for all we know, that is blockchain technology. So, for example, when you get a letter in the mail, USPTO, right? It has a QR code on it. 9 out of 10 times. Amazon is using QR codes for delivery systems, right? Those things could be on a back-end system that's already linked to the blockchain, and it's running their system much more efficiently and effectively. This is happening right now. It has already happened. Major companies are using it within their distribution systems because blockchain is the best information technology systems ever bestowed upon humanity. It's the internet of civilization. It's like the internet of everything. They call it the internet of money, but that's just Bitcoin. Like, we got 10,000 other use cases that are going to be deployed for each relative utilization for the respective situation in society, and this is one of them. This is basically showing you right now we only got 100 million users in the cryptoverse, right? iPhone is doing 2.5 times that in sales every year indefinitely. And so now I think it becomes a numbers game to where it says, okay, well, what's the yield curve? You know, what's the integration? What's the adoption rate that these users with this new payment system will start using it for Bitcoin, using it for crypto? How many people already use it today? What percent of those people already have Bitcoin? And so now you get into like a slow drip numbers game, like a waterfall. But at the end of the day, this is probably the most, impressive announcement that I've seen in quite some time, because as I mentioned, Bitcoin came out in 2009, iPhone came out in 2007, and now the two have a reason to coexist together. Up until now, Apple hasn't let anybody touch their payment system. That was Apple's money, that was Apple's product, and that was Apple's decision. But like Sam Cooke said, change go come. You know what I'm saying? And it has indeed arrived for the technology industry. I think it's very, very, very empowering news, very, very, very optimistic engagement. And like I said, you got a lot of people behind the scenes figuring out how they could get Bitcoin on the NFC payment system. And then on the other side of that, you got people figuring out, well, if we get it on the payment system, how can we get it on the POS? How can we, unite a rail to put Visa out of business, or at least compete with Visa? How can Square or, Circle introduce it on both sides to where now not only the merchant has benefit for using Bitcoin, but also the consumer as well? It's a very, very, very exciting value proposition, and that's why I'm talking about it on this channel. I think it's big for the industry, it's big for crypto, and ultimately it can be big for you. This is how we doing it. The higher Bitcoin goes up, the more opportunity we have to trade for altcoins, the more opportunity we have to accumulate more Bitcoin as a result. I teach people all over the world how to trade USD for BTC, altcoins for BTC. And my goal is to help as many people accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. These are indeed the end times, and as a result, they are the beginning times as well. And Bitcoin is the future. And guess what? Somebody got to be the boss. Might as well be the one that already paid the cost. You talking to him. This is what we doing. We got a free SMS community. After I get done with this video, I'm about to send everybody the link this week that joined. All you need to do is jump on over to bossofbitcoin.com. Put your phone number right up there in the top row. And if you're in the United States, I will text you a link to join our free crypto trading community. I gave these guys 2 free trades last week. And guess what? Each one of them is clean and clear in the money. And one of them is about to take off. So if you want to make some money with the boy BK, this is how you do it. Bossofbitcoin.com. Drop your phone number up top. And if you just want to get paid, if you just want to say, hey, BK, I just found your channel, let me see if I can win some free Bitcoin, you got a chance to do that too. Shout out your city in the comments. I'm going to go through each and every comment. I respond to each and every one. And we going to keep this thing on wheels and keep on rolling. With that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay, Brazil to Bay or California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss.
Huh. Arms. Huh.